Hey, good morning. It's Robert. Hope everybody's good. It's awfully wet here and dark. Dark and wet. Hey, Powerman, good morning. Hi, John. Thanks for the list. Morning, Sean. Hey, Ralph. Thanks. Yeah, me too. It looks like pullback day, though. Could it be pullback day? Gap up would have been better for a pullback, but we're right at yesterday's low, so if we give that up, I still think we pull back. Just, not as much room. Yesterday was pretty surprising. I mean, it just held that high all day long. Gapped up and just sat. Both the SPY and the Q. So both have room back to an hourly 20 MA, which to me would be the target area. Now that will increase as the day goes on. The 20 MA will rise. And if price can fall to it, I think it'd make for a nice buy area too. But I don't think I'm going long this morning unless we hit that 20 MA area or this demand area here. It's 326.50 in the SPY. Couple bucks. Anyway, that's my outlook. Same area as 266 on the Qs. Now, there might be a gap up or two worth taking in spite of that. Most of these are earnings, and unless I got one from John or RM that wasn't, I only looked at earnings this morning. But let's go through them. There's only a couple of good ones, as I remember. ACM, yeah, just over the prior high, but really nowhere to go. And thin and spready, at least for now. ATVI. I'm not sure this is earnings. I think this came from RM's list, but it's a nice $2 gap up. Good breakout yesterday. Put that on the list. It's kind of either way. BP gapping up almost to the pivot. It was over it for a while. I often like to play BP. It's got a target area about 24.40. So if it comes up over 23.23 and then produces a nice entry, I'd be willing to do that. EXPD is awfully wild at the open. It is getting a nice push up. Not quite all-time highs, but it's the high since 2005. I'm not going to put that on the original list though. It's to me it's too wild for the open. FIS isn't doing anything. That could actually come off the list. FIVN getting a $4, well, $3 gap, maybe four. after 4 days up. So there's a fade candidate. And INCY was clearing yesterday's high. Now it's not. It's got some room to travel up, but it's got to get a little more bullish. And IPHI, this is the other good possible fade. It already hit 150, so I'd like to see it try to rally again. I'd also like to see the spread trim down some. But that's a good watch. Um, IR breakout yesterday, so this is all after the fact, and I think this is the earnings day, so this was anticipated well. It's got some room higher, but this would need a pullback and a setup for me. I wouldn't jump that. IT, on the other hand, is getting the breakout now. Big spread. And 200 flat MA at just over 133. So that's got potential if the spread were to tighten and if it had an entry. JELD gapping to a new high, but not much else. I'm going to skip that for the open, but could be a long later. KKR. This is a pretty clean breakout. Weekly as well. A little up there on the monthly, but shouldn't matter this morning. I'm going to put KKR on the list. LGIH. This is very spready. It's a very nice looking breakout though. I don't know how playable it'll be, if at all, but I like the breakout. I'm going to put it on the list. Lentu. Yeah, Len's got a similar look, just not quite getting the breakout. I don't think that one reported. Yeah, well, I don't have it on my list anyway. I'll put it on the green list, but and then MOS. Yeah, it's a nice looking breakout, but it's just got supply and 200 MA. I'm gonna skip it for the open. This SEDG is probably my favorite one here today. It's a little big though. It's $6, $7 over the prior high, which will keep me from jumping right on it. I didn't realize it was that far up there. But last night it was as high as 202. Loved the bottoming tail yesterday without the breakout. Just a matter of will this be playable and will it fade first? SPX. ENS. Little novice, but not much room to fade down. T2 on the other hand, plenty of room to fade down. $10. TXRX just over 60. That could possibly be a fade at 63, but if it pulls back first, it's likely a long. It's pretty strong, just consolidated for 4 days and now breaking higher on earnings. And VRNS over the red and over the pivot, $2 spread. I'm going to skip that because of the spread right now, but that may be a good long too if it has an entry. And then I put W on. Sean mentioned liked it for fade today. So do I. But I'm going to go with the T2 or the other one, whatever that was first. But this looks prime for pullback as well. Just not a big gap. Okay, downers, AIG, not enough. AMRN. This is pretty good. 637 looks like the prior low. 633 maybe. Under that, it's got room to drop. BXC. Oh, this is up. I'll put that on the up list. I think that came from RM. Yeah, I don't have that on earnings. Happened to 18. Kill that from the down list. All right, CRUS had a nice drive yesterday, almost to the big supply point, and this could certainly fall today too. This might be more difficult than some, but I'm putting it on the list because it usually works, even though it's not the setup I like. And CYBR, right in a demand area, nothing there. ENM, $1.50 spread, but gapping to a good place. Failing on the daily buy under the 20 MA with room down to 69. However, with the spread, it could be 69 in 2 ticks, so I'm going to skip it for the open. HAE. Under the first pivot, or very close anyway. Again, a $2 spread. But this does have potential down to 70. I'll come back to that. I'm not going to list that. It just is low volume and spready. Clock still holding yesterday's low. and in a lot of supply, I mean demand. Clock looks hard. MNK may be the best downer. It's under everything and looks like it's on its way to $1. And I don't think I have it. Yep, delete it off. So I'm not going to watch this because I don't have it, but if you do have it, it looks pretty good. RL, well, if you can give this one room, it might get to 60. Bearish gap under the prior pivot. Would have to get through the $62 pivot and then has a chance at that 60. Rambus still pretty bullish. SPCE a bit of a surprise. I like this. It was a surefire long yesterday. Pull back to the 20 MA. Looked like a pretty good swing long actually, and it may get blown out today, gapping just under the pivot. Now this either retests the low and comes back, but if it doesn't, it's certainly got room to fall. So an intraday downtrend on that, or even a nice lower high. Love to see this try to rally and fail, and then it's a short. Question is, do I have this one? Nope, don't have that one either. All right, well, I'm going to watch it anyway. I may request that. And this one, SPR, I think I had it on the list yesterday. Today's earnings, and it's gapping right to demand. It's going to be tough, though. That's a tough fade, and it's really quite weak, but just not through anything. I'm going to skip it then. And THC is the other nice looking short. It's rallied back just a little, under 2480 is where it breaks. All right, anything else really good? My opening plays for the last several weeks have really struggled. 10-10-30 plays doing a lot better. So I'm going to be very, very particular the next few days on doing an early play. But the ones I might do are THC. If I had it, space, but THC is fine. And AMRN if it can get lower and break down. T2 could fade. And I guess so could this SEDG, but this is such a fine bullish gap. It's just too big to jump on, but this is a long at some point. And LGIH spread tightening, but the next tier is $2 away. So it's showing a 123.50 bid, and then the next bid is 121. So it's still pretty spready. And KKR, I like higher. General bias, though, is lower unless it's not. Oh, this thing's already faded $15. All right, I'm going to be really cautious here today. I do like BP long. Yeah, I like BP long. It's not a big play, but sometimes you can get 5, 6 cent entries on this. Right now you can't because it's a 5 cent spread. But if I can get a less than 10 cent entry with this with a dollar target, I'll take it. THC, the easy target would be 23, but it could go more. All right, I'm ready. Should open any second here. All right, should be open. All right, there goes the jump. I saw my clock tick 9:30, but things weren't jumping. T2 immediately higher. SEDG. Yeah, that even though it's a huge gap, it still looks higher. Like I said, I thought that was the best one. Well, CRUS on a sell setup now. It's showing weakness, gapping deep into that green bar. And space if you got it. 2170 by 2220. I would do this if I had it. And THC did not gap to 24 like it was showing. Yeah, space would be in play. MRN didn't crack anything on the daily. T2 got a double topping tail. $6 spread though. I mean $6 stop. BP. I'm gonna do BP. It's a few cents, 10 cents too late. Darn. Over red, over the 50s, 37 BP was good. If it comes back again, I'll jump in. Yeah, do you get it, John? I just saw you posted it, and then I caught it on my 2-minute chart, and it didn't look too late, but it is. Good, good. You know I like that one. Hopefully it comes back. Well, and space working too, so Cirrus is a short. T2 is a short. KKR, nice fade. Okay, a buy setup into the 2340 area is a buy for me on BP. SPY fading higher. We're not getting any weakness. RL, I think, is a short. Is it worth doing? Mm, quarter or more spread. $2 stop. I'm gonna wait. It looks good though. That was the sell setup on RL. And THC too. This one probably needs high a day. Alright, so under 30. THC 25.30 by high a day by $26. Oh darn, it spreads open. I just put a bid in at 29 and got hit. All right, well watch the spread. You got to add spread to THC. Means the stop is more like 26 and a quarter. Okay, BP pivots, although it's a little below the VWAP here. If it pivots and goes back over the VWAP, I like BP, but it's falling, sorry John, more than you'd like. Target on THC, first one anyway, is about 23. Might want to shave a little at 24, but I'm going to try and hold it through to 23. But I may change my mind if we flash down there. Yeah, I'm late now. I wanted to grab a little, but it should come right back down. Yeah, it hit 22. Okay, BP now below the VWAP. It's holding low a day. All right, not my entry now, but it still looks good. But I'm gonna pass this entry. Space working well. If did it, RL working well too. T2 faded pretty well. All right, SPY did the sell setup. So did the Qs. Both on gap fills. Close anyway. AMD. Oh yeah. Ringit's got its short right here. Oh, ADT. Yeah, looks like one of Evan's plays. That's pretty good. Nice looking fade on ADT from yesterday, continuation. Come on, 10. I was 10 cents off a target lock. And now THC coming all the way back. Hate that. Yet space and RL working beautifully. Here's a buy setup on SEDG. Pretty good. It's still too spready for me, but this is good if you want it. SEDG long right now. And I still like BP. It's a 20-cent entry now to give it low a day. So I'd like an entry at this point. But if I get one, I'll do that. THC is irritating. Nice little sell setup in RL. Market's a little bullish. And a 40-cent spread. But right on the VWAP. I love BP, but I don't know where to put the stop. Well, other than low a day, which I don't want to do. That SEG fought off an attempt to fail too. It's even better now. Just got a dollar spread. Okay, now with a higher low pivot, could take some BP over a red bar or could do a full play over 2344, but I want the higher low pivot so it has a stop. Watching ADM. Man. Taking all the Intel business. Cirrus probably hit the target. And market just having nothing of weakness. So not fade day, at least not for now. And SEDG, if you did the little buy setup, target one high day, and no reason it has to stop there though. Good place Cirrus to retest the low a day. The 200 MA weren't there. I like it better. Okay, BP for me over 44. Gonna stop 33. Okay, so I want it to crack back over the VWAP and the little pivot, and then stop a couple of cents under the low that's holding. Good early entry here, but it's not back over the VWAP yet. Going to 2-minute chart, and you see it's a 2-minute continuation play is what I'm looking at. THC just taking it everything. There's this all set up on space. Cirrus if under 7085. Again, I think the daily target's been achieved is the problem with Cirrus. EP's got an entry if it triggers. Q's completely fought off the gap down and went higher, so ADT looks like Ringett's entry triggered. That one's really tempting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the ADT. As we fall down from the surprise new high. Wow, Cyber, ENM as well. Looking at the whole list here. I could enter a new play on THC. Got another cell setup now. Hopefully it's gonna behave this time, but this time have to get some target near the low. Stop can come down a little bit if you want. I had it originally at high a day. Now there's a solid pivot up there. 2547, 2560. So it still needs 15 cents or so. I'm just going to leave it alone, but I am going to take some target near low a day. And this is a good ad, or was a good ad. It's a little late now. But when I started talking about it. And BP is oil. Shouldn't necessarily care about the market. But if it doesn't trigger, it doesn't trigger. It's only a play if it triggers. ACM's going higher. AMD could fall. SEDG, if you tried the buy setup, didn't quite make the target. Now it's going to stop. And the W looking good. All right, I'm just sticking with THC. Gonna lower the stop now to 25.85. And I updated the target on THC for a third at low a day. And BP's triggered. 33 held. And BP, the scalp target is 2361 high a day, but really the larger issue is 2445. Now that's a bold target on this, but I would try and hold some to that with a little bit out at the high a day. Oh, I messed up. Let me fix this. I put the THC target on the BP. All right, I think I fixed it now. Well, almost a high day on the BP. Gonna need a couple of cents more. All right, well, I got a long, I got a short. I'm gonna sit. Market, I thought was going to pull back today. So far, it's shown no sign of that. Making new highs. Well, almost. Yeah, 5 cents off a new high. So we are in a good area to short weakness. I have one of the better looking weak things, I think, the THC. Space is the other one, which isn't available to most of us. And the ADT, while pushing back up a little, still looks like a nice fade idea. And THC held the VWAP. So I don't want to give this a new high anymore. I think I've got to stop somewhere near 85. Oh, you can't change it much. Could get it to 70, 75, but I'm going to keep it close to, but not quite high a day. This is not what you want to see. Man, got that nice drop and didn't get anything. All right, I'm going to walk off for a little bit. I'm not going to do another play. I just want to let these two play through. So be back. Yeah, it's early. I'll be back before 10:30. Okay, see you in a little bit. Thanks. Hey, it's Rob. BP hit that high today. So I'm going to move the stop up to just under 2340, which is the VWAP and the pivot. So with the little exit, it should be break even from here. And I'll check it in the lunch. And, if it's near the whole number, that would qualify for a second, third. But like I say, I'm trying to get it to 2440, which is a big order. So trail now to 2338. And then trail to 2/3. And then, well, got close to it. This THC is really reacting to this little demand area here. I thought we'd get through it. Well, it isn't over yet. But, and also market won't weaken. I thought we'd have a weak market, but we don't. Like SPY's still uptrending. Converted on the last buy setup too. Got the new high. Q's not quite able to trigger. MA breaking out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, MA higher, higher. MU2. Yeah, nice 5-minute buy on MU after the nice hourly big bar. Yeah, MU is pretty good daily. It's a little messy, but got a pretty clean 5-minute there. And Tom's looking at home. Yeah, home, nice hourly breakout. All right, so stuff is going. I'd like this THC to work. Next new low would be a target. And yeah, not much can do with it. Maybe we get a nice pivot here, can get the stop down close to break even. This is another sell setup on the VWAP right now. But it's been too flaky for me to want to increase it. Space is good again. This has been good all day. And RL worked again, so second time RL worked. Cirrus has worked. So I've got the toughest short of the 4 shorts I like. The THC is thrashing the most. I'm just gonna look through everything. AMD didn't get much fall. In fact, it didn't really get any fall. Going strong. BP made it to 2369. Let me just check and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, the high of the pre-market was 2389. So I'm going to look for another third there, 2389. or could just take it to half size there. But if that comes up at lunch, probably a good thing to trim it more. But I'd like to hold some for that 24.50. So BP. So 23.89 and 24.38. Okay, so I'm saying a third each, but basically it's half of the remaining on the BP targets here. And THC is, it just fell too quick, too fast into a demand. That's the problem here. MNK, if you got it, looks good lower. And ADT won't drop yet, but it's also a buyout rumor, offer or whatever. So BXC had a nice 15. It's thin though. And it hasn't happened yet, but Intel is going to rally at some point. It's got a pretty nice 15-minute right now, but it's just trying to cross the VWAP. And again, I don't have any desire to go long any kind of market stock. But you can see that 15 on Intel is decent. Certainly has daily chart. When the market were bullish, I would definitely be long some Intel today, but can't do it. And it's not that I'm not saying the market's bullish. It is. Yeah, so I went higher after all. Yeah. So that little 2-minute buy may not have worked, might have gotten flushed out, but you can see overall got the new highs if you played SEDG with room. Oh, you're doing ADT, Evan? I didn't know you were doing it. Ring it, put it out there, right? But Evan to Fade King now. All right, as soon as BP pivots, it's a trail stop. Hopefully it can keep going. Let's say the pre-market high. Actually, the pre-market high is 24, so my target's 10 cents in front of that. And should be able to get that on the next rally, but I'm trailing it tighter than I was, so it's gonna have to hold. And this THC is bugging me. Yeah, I'm bringing the trail to 25.65 or so. I'm not gonna give it the extra room anymore. We do have a pivot at 25.42, and we we couldn't form at 25.25. I haven't given up on this, but the demand area combined with the market bullish has really held. All right, so trail to 25.65. Spread's down to about 4 cents now. It's not like it was earlier. All right, anything else? I'm not seeing much. I threw out a few ideas. Basically, I'm just, waiting. Two things in play. Didn't take the SCDG, liked it though. Not sure I would have survived that pullback, but it was spready for me at the time. I have a general rule that no more than 25% of the stop can be spread, and that one didn't conform there. All right, BP. Hopefully it holds right here. I can't say Sears was a miss. So there were certainly chances to do it. And then I thought it had hit the target, but it's just digging right through it. I can't do anything now. Got like 8 15-minute red bars. CHCG? Yeah, that one was weird. It popped yesterday and the earnings were today. So it's like everything leaked out and today it got sold. It's in the hourly buy area. But the problem is it didn't get there in a good way. It got there one big red volume bar. Not the kind of thing I like to buy. I mean, on a nice pullback here, that's a buy. So I personally, I just left it alone today. I liked it yesterday, never did anything with it. Today it's doing volume too. Well, it did volume yesterday. I'm not sure it didn't report yesterday and just get mislisted or something. Or everybody knew. I mean, it's not a whole lot different than Cirrus. I mean, Cirrus looks worse now because it's, taking itself all the way back to demand, but they have a similar look. Cirrus is just down here. I mean, RL still looks okay. Setting up again, kind of right now. 30, 31. Well, it already triggered. It went to 14, but under 31 was the entry by the VWAP, about 64.70. Got the 20 MA and got the VWAP. It's a nice location. If you need a short, that's a pretty good looking one. Scalpy, but looks good. All right, hopefully THC can pivot again. And space, if you got it, still is the best looking one to me. All right, if we get the new high, trail comes up to 48 on BP. If not, I'm going to leave it at 38. But once we cross over 2369, stop comes up to 48, and that's almost break even, I think. That's a little better than break even. And then just let it go if it can. All right, I'm not gonna put out anything else, I don't think. Just gonna keep the two plays from the open. I'd look lower, but there's no real evidence yet. SPY just got a new high. It's still above all the lines. If we break below 328.61, then maybe. But there's still low a day right there. This is hard. Well, if you're trying to do something, it's hard. Q's breaking the prior pivot right now. But again, it's a tough short. It's a scalp to low a day if you want. But I'm going to leave it alone. All right, I'll be back later. Gonna walk away again. Thanks all. Hope you're doing okay today.